So you can duck under, duck under. You got me. All right, good. Man, duck under, take me to the wall. So, you got me. All right, now I hook it in. Last variation, variation number 5. So you're too late. I got you. Watch my knee, step, weight distribution. Ah. And I'm down. One more time. Hook, knee, weight distribution. You got me. Hey guys, Coach Tim here, Wesley Chapel Jiu-Jitsu. Wanted to go over a couple more techniques, one more variation of the front headlock, and then we're going to take it to the next level. The last 2 weeks, we were working on front headlocks. We went through a variation number 1, which is an Army combative style jiu-jitsu variation. We went through a variation number 2, which was more of a freestyle wrestling, a collegiate wrestling variation to a front headlock, and we went through a variation number 3, which was a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu variation. Actually, variation number 4 was shared to us the very next week by my Jiu-Jitsu instructor, Professor Tony Pazinski, with the Jiu-Jitsu Global Federation, Helio Gracie, and those guys. Great run the first week with the front headlock escapes. And we got a lot of questions. What happens if this happens? What happens if I leave my hand here? What happens if he steps here? The what ifs, the hypotheticals will always be there. And you're actually going to find most of those answers out in live sparring when you practice these techniques. That's why during the first couple of weeks of learning a new move, it's better just to learn the move and not, fill your mind with all the what ifs and stuff. Now that we've gotten through it and we've done some live sparring and stuff, let's actually focus in on not so much a variation, but a what if today. So the what if today is if I'm doing my first technique, my duck under. So Aiden's gonna pull me into the front guillotine right here. I ducked under as soon as I felt it coming and I took his back. That's what we were working on. Now, what if my arm as I'm ducking under gets stuck? So I'm here ready, squared off. He pulls me. When I go to duck under, this hand went too low on the hip, and now it's stuck. I'm fighting him here. I'm bridging up. I'm not worried about this arm, but my hand is stuck. As we start wrestling, yeah, my hand can come up here, and I can have something similar to a head and arm triangle from the front. So I'm squared off, and I'm wrestling up. Let's take a focus. Let's look at this right here in a little bit more detail. This is a great technique. So, from the duck under, a technique, a grip that's very important. I think it's important. This is how I've always learned it and tested it live sparring. When my hand comes up, there's a couple of grips, okay? Now, obviously, doing like this right here is very important. Once we hit the ground, we're going to use that for our Tahoe Jitsu or our restraining and controlling technique. But if he's taller than me, it's going to be hard to get there off the gate from standing. So from right here, I don't want to grip with this hand with my loose hand. I'm going to call it my outside hand. I don't want to grip with that on top. There's way too much space. Even if I pinch, he has too much room. But if I flip to my inside hand, thumb down, and I grip, as I grip in, it's putting a pinch on his neck and it's pulling him over. From that pull, that's where I start working my my balancing and off-centering so I can get my takedowns. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, they like to teach that there's 3 types of people that your jiu-jitsu is going to be used against. It's going to be used against competitive jiu-jitsu. That's when we're players. Maybe we're just grappling with rules. It's going to be used against self-defense style fighters. That's when we're on the street and I got to, close the distance and fight a little bit harder. And then it's going to be used against what they call in Portuguese Vale Tudo, which is more like different styles, not just jiu-jitsu. Maybe I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter and I'm fighting a Kyokushin bare knuckle karate guy and we're meeting in the middle. Open rules, anything goes. But with that said, Let's talk about, this is more of a self-defense scenario. I'm anticipating today, if we were just wrestling, or if we were just maybe like a playful competitive jiu-jitsu with rules where you can't kick and punch, yeah, it's going to be very easy for me to dance around when I feel him grab my neck, just to come under, duck under, take his back, go for my takedown. But I know that this is on the street. People are still going to grab the neck. They're still going to go for a front headlock, but they're going to be wrestling. They're going to be holding a lot more tight. It's not a loose, easy grappling match. So I can almost anticipate that when he pulls me in on the street, my arm and my head and everything, it's not going to come through perfectly. My arm, yeah, can get stuck down here. With that said, as I get pulled in today, when he pulls me in, he's going to pull me in. My arm is going to do the same motion my head is. I'm stepping down and up with my head. My arm on the other end of his body is coming down and up, which gives me that room for that head and arm triangle. And I feel, I come up, I have my tight head and arm triangle now. My elbows are pinched together on his chest and on his back. My palms are clapped together like a gable grip, and I'm pulling him into me, bringing his shoulders to me over his back, taking his balance. From there, I can do 3 takedown variations. The first one, I can just simply grapevine from the back as he's trying to regain his balance. The next one, when he pulls me, and I pitch, I can just pitch together and pop. Or my favorite, the most painful, I can go for a full sweep. Now, wide sweep, that's a good technique. That's easy to take people down. That's a very painful technique. What if we're on the street? What if I don't want to hurt this guy? What if I don't want the legal ramifications that come with slamming someone down on the concrete at a parking lot? How can I take him down more gently and still have that control? Wide steps. He takes my grab. I swim under. Grab. His shoulders are already down. My elbows on the small of his back, helping him over. I can literally just take 2 wide steps like a wave, and he will fall down. 1, 2, and I've controlled him. I've taken him down without hurting him. Yet, it's such a powerful technique that when I duck his shoulder over, I can literally take 3 large steps, and he will come down. So now we've kind of, what I would say, we've opened up another bedroom down a hallway. We're walking down a hallway, which is the front headlock, okay? We've kind of gone through some of the scenarios, some of the variations, some of the timing through the last couple of weeks. Now we're going over all the what ifs. What if my arm got stuck on the other side? I have to swim up and get a head and arm. Now, let's go a little bit earlier. Let's do a preemptive and how we can use this same technique we're working on today and this week and use it at the very beginning. He has to do one thing before his front headlock can even work, which is grab my neck. As he grabs my neck, I grab his neck and I lodge on. Just like we're in a wrestling stance now. We're very neutral, yeah. So back again, when he gets ready to grab my neck, I grab his neck. I'm holding, I'm blocking his shoulder, and I'm hanging on right here. Now we're in a neutral grip. We're in a fight. This is kind of like an alpha male challenge match now. We're holding each other tight. Maybe our heads like this. Now we're going to use a little bit of a freestyle collegiate wrestling tactic. And what that tactic is another duck under. Now, if I want to duck under this way right here, I have to get through his arm. Very simply, I'm going to hook on like a gorilla grip. No thumbs. I'm going to snake over and hook on. My forearms putting pressure down, and I'm going to pull it down into me a little bit. As soon as I do that, most of the time, they're going to want to pull back initially. So as I pull down into me, he pulls back. I duck back under just like before. My hand is already on his neck, which makes it an easier pull down. One more time. duck under, I'm up, my hand is there, gable grip, pull down, break his posture, and come all the way down. I said this at a seminar one time, and people laughed at me. In fact, I heard it on a comedy movie, so it earned the right to be laughed at. But 60% of the time, this works all the time. And that's just the point. Stuff doesn't go as planned all the time. Everyone knows that. What if when he grabs my neck, I grab his neck and I grab, what if now I start pulling and he actually doesn't pull back? What if he just stays there? What if he lets me pull him all the way in? Now I'm just sitting here in a gridlock. Who's going to go first? Someone's going to grab the leg. We're going to be in another fight. So if I try to pull back a couple of times and he actually doesn't give with it, he doesn't pull back to give me the duck under, I'm going to transition over. My hand is going to snake back down and I'm going to push up. So as I'm pulling down, he doesn't do anything. I push up, but my head still comes through. My head doesn't come up as my arm pushes up. I'm literally going to help that hand get over my head so I can get my duck under. So he grabs my neck. I don't like it. I grab his neck. I lodge on. I pull. He doesn't do anything. I push up so I can duck under. Gable grip. Look where my legs are. They're between his legs. I take him down. Impact positions are more important to me and to the style of jiu-jitsu we train here at Wesley Chapel Jiu-Jitsu than submissions. Now, I'm not going to put down submissions. I love to grapple. I love to wrestle. I love to go to BJJ open mats. I tap out all the time. The point I'm trying to make is I don't want to be too engaged or too committed on the ground against one guy on the street. What if he has friends? What if we're in the street and a car drives by? I want to take someone down, put them in a control position, and part of that control position comes with two elements. Number one, they're on the bottom, they're in a locked up position, and number two, I am able to stand up or sit up and look around. I need both of those to be a control position. So from here, quick takedown, he grabs my neck, I don't like it, I pull, I push up, I come under, I take him down. Now, my shoulder is up on top of his body. My 2 feet are like a tripod. If this was more of a jiu-jitsu or submission, I would come then to like I'm doing a rear naked choke and come around. Point of the matter is, I don't want to hit the ground and not be able to look around. So I'm going to drop him just like this. I'm going to put my tripod on right there just to make sure he doesn't bounce back up and to make sure he's okay. Then from there, I'm going to pop up to the knee on belly position from his side. From there, my hand can hold him down. I can look up, I can wave, I can call for help, or do whatever I have to do. One last time. Down, control. And there it is, guys. People ask me a lot, what's more important for me? Would I rather spar or would I rather drill? And that's a good question. That's literally the yin and yang of not just jiu-jitsu, but martial arts. Sparring or drilling, what's more important? And here's an answer that was answered to me. I was at a seminar. I was actually at a Kyle Terra seminar. Kyle Terra's like phenomenal, 140 pounds from Brazil, jiu-jitsu black belt. Has won the absolute, which is the open weight class division, like over 10 times. So obviously whatever he's doing to train must be working. And at the seminar, another black belt asked him, he said, hey, excuse me, Professor Kyle, when you are training or preparing for a competition, what do you think is more important? Drilling or sparring? And his answer was simple, and his answer was phenomenal and deep. It was whatever one makes you happier. Because if you're happy, you're going to train harder. So if you enjoy drilling, do more drilling. If you enjoy sparring, do more sparring. But here's the thing. You've got to add scenarios to it. You've got to add different variations to it. And you've got to add different levels of resistance and different levels of reaction. I don't necessarily want to wait for him to pull me all the way in to a front headlock before I react. Okay? I might be able to just get a nice duck under as soon as he comes, or even before he gets to that, as soon as he grabs me, I might be able to grab and get my attack. Thanks for watching, guys. Come check out a class if you're in the Tampa Bay area. We're right here in Wesley Chapel Jiu-Jitsu, inside the Lesson Company. Os.